Good people, good people, good people. Woke up this morning with a little specific word that was pulsating in my spirit. And betrayal. Betrayal. I'm like, Lord, betrayal? Betrayal? What you talking about betrayal? I ain't never been one to really allow too many people get that close to me to betray me. But when I look back in my life, I have been betrayed. I just didn't realize it was betrayal. Usually by someone that you love. I know, but betrayal is to intentionally harm somebody's on purpose in their trust and confidence in you. That's betrayal. Stab somebody in the back when they wasn't supposed to, or were they? So I just want to tell y'all today, what if I told you that betrayal had to happen? We're walking in the snow out here today, y'all. We're out here walking in the snow. The last little bit of it. Georgia done got snow twice in 2 weeks. That's crazy. Georgia. But nevertheless, what if I told y'all that betrayal had to happen? You looking like, what? Because a lot of us been betrayed. Most of us been betrayed on some level. Whether it was a mama betrayal, a daddy betrayal, you baby daddies, y'all betray y'all children when y'all don't raise them, govern them, protect them, and watch over them. There's a guy on YouTube that I've been watching for a while now, and he catch a lot of flack on some levels, but he also gets praise on a lot of levels. It all depends on what eye you looking at it from, your flesh, or you looking at it from the spirit. But it's called, his channel is called Atlanta Street Interviews. Man, he gets down to the nitty gritty of humanity and the cause and effects of why we turn out to be who we turn out to be, and why we end up being what we end up being, and why cause a lot of times we'll see the outcome, but we don't know what happened at the root. We'll see the bleeding, but we don't know what caused the bleeding. And so this guy is awesome, man, because he on ground zero talking to people. He talking to the people that on all kinds of levels, but a lot of people that, because we walk in our egos most of our life, it's hard to reach somebody that's in the ego because they blinded to the truth. But nevertheless, a lot of people in this world have been betrayed. And we've been betrayed by all kind of people. And I was just thinking about in the word how a lot of people in the word was betrayed, and how the serpent betrayed Eve in the garden, and how Delilah betrayed Samson, and also how Joseph, which we're going to talk about today, how Joseph was betrayed by his brothers. Cain was betrayed by Abel. Abel was betrayed by Cain, I'm sorry. But nevertheless, we're going to talk about Joseph. If I told you all that betrayal had to happen, you're like, what? Why did it have to happen? What you mean it had to happen? That thing hurt. Matter of fact, I haven't even recovered from it yet. I'm still dealing with that betrayal. That betrayal had to happen. It had to happen. It had to unlock some things in you. That betrayal had to somehow, a lot of time, betrayal introduces you to the real you, because betrayal gets to the soul of a person. It gets to the heart. They had you looking at them like, I can't believe that they did that to me. After all the love that I showed them, after all that I did for them, all that we've been through, all of the honesty, all of the truth, all the things that we've walked together with, and we've been through our blood, but this is my family, this is my lover, this is my husband, this is my wife, this is my boyfriend, my girlfriend, my child. And you stab me in the back. That thing get to the soul, and some people never, ever, ever recover. Like I said, I'm gonna be on you, baby daddies, and you half-ass daddies too, because some of y'all involved too, because them babies is crucial in this story that I'm telling, and all the stories that I'm telling. Them babies, because they become the future. The future. We got to teach the future when they live like that. We got to teach the future. We got to show them the way. We got to love on them. We got to protect them. Got to protect their faith. We got to protect their hope, and we got to protect their love when they babies, because that's what the enemy comes to do. He comes to steal, kill, and destroy that spirit, the adversary. But nevertheless, there was this boy named Joseph. Joseph was one of 12 boys. He was the baby boy. He was the boy that had favor. He had favor in his father's eyes. His father was Israel. Later on, he became Jacob, the trickster that they teach you in the church. But he was Israel. He was his favorite son. He was the baby boy. The daddy. They said he favored him because he had him in his old age. He didn't expect to having a 12th child in his old age. And so he had a lot of favor, and he was the favorite, and his other brothers were jealous of him. And so he ended up, his daddy got him a coat, a robe, got him a coat, made him a robe for him, to show his love for him and everything. And he just always had faith. But the boy had a gift. The boy had a gift. The boy, Joseph, had a gift spiritually inside of him that he hadn't tapped into yet, but at the time it was there. And I just believe in my heart that his father knew that he had a gift too, that this boy was special. There was something about him. And so nevertheless, the boy had a dream. He was a young boy at the time. He had a dream, and he shared the dream with his brothers. And his brothers got angry at him. He had 2 dreams, and his brothers got angry with him from the 2 dreams that he had told his brother. He told his brothers the dream out of naivety, because he was a young boy at the time when he told them the dreams, and the brothers interpreted the dreams as in a way that made them feel some type of way. I'm here to tell y'all, a lot of y'all been backstabbed and betrayed because you don't leaked your dreams. You don't told your dreams to the wrong people, to the wrong person. You should just kept your dreams to yourself. Because when they saw those dreams, when you told them those dreams, they saw the outcome. Sometimes we be naive to the gifts and the greatness that's on the inside of us. And so you told your dream to the wrong people. And so in their minds, of those, especially those that operate from a low vibration, those that have no real self-esteem, those that have been through some things in their own life, those that don't feel like they're good enough or great enough, they'll begin to say, okay, we're going to snuff his dream out because he's going to be great one day, and we gonna kill him. So they decided after a while that they was jealous of him, and they decided they wanted to kill him, but they didn't want the blood on their hands. So they said, no, we can't kill him, because we kill him, the blood going to be on our hands. So we're going to do this instead to get him off course. So we're going to do this. We're going to sell him. They sold him to the Ishmaelites. And I'm saying to myself, sometimes, y'all, it's a lot of people that we've been close to, loved ones, families, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wives. They don't did some things behind the scenes. They necessarily didn't want no blood on their hand, but they don't did some trifling, backstabbing, conniving things to get you off course, to steal your dream. Steal your dream. And I'm here to tell you, keep your dreams to yourself. When God gives you a dream, or you feel this thing on the inside of you burning and you know it's greatness, sometimes you got to save it for a later date. Because you never know the hearts of those that are around you. And blood ain't got nothing to do with nothing. Because last I remember in God's word, he said that a friend, let me say this again, a friend will stick closer than a brother. A friend will stick closer than a brother. Blood ain't got a goddamn thing to do with nothing. So keep your dreams to yourself. People have to prove themselves to you. You got to vet people. You got to make people show you that they're worthy of being in your energy, being in your atmosphere, being in your surroundings, being around you. They got to be worthy. Young men, young ladies, they got to be worthy. These men got to be worthy to be around you. But nevertheless, his brothers were jealous, and so they sold him. They threw him in the pit. The pit ended up not having water in it, so he wasn't able to drown it. So they ended up selling them off to the Ishmaelites. And when they sold him off to the Ishmaelite, this boy, like when I tell you that betrayal had to happen, it had to happen because there's some things, some sequence of events that have to happen that's going to prepare you for what's to come down the road. For what's to come for you down the road. And so he was sold to the Ishmaelites. The Ishmaelites sold him to the captain of Pharaoh's guard of Egypt. And he was there, and while he was there, he caught some more hell. Here it is, the Potiphar, his name was Potiphar. Potiphar, his wife took a liking to Joseph, wanted a piece of Joseph, wanted some of that. But Joseph was a man of integrity. He was one that didn't sleep with his friends' wives. He was one that didn't sleep with his friends' relatives. He was upstanding. He was a man of character. So of course he wasn't trying to sleep with this man who had given him all kind of power and authority over his household. So he couldn't do it, but the man's wife still kept coming on to him. And when she realized that Joseph wasn't going to bud, that Joseph wasn't going to give her what she wanted, she started to make false accusations about Joseph. So Joseph catching hell again. Here it is. He done been tried to get killed by his brother. They tried to kill him. They don't sold him to another group of people. Them people don't sold him to this captain of the guard. Now the captain of the guard, his wife is trying to come on to him. She don't say that he don't try to do some things with her. And so now the captain of the guard, of course he gonna believe his woman. Even though she was lying. So now this man done got thrown in prison. He done got thrown in prison, y'all. So now we got Joseph, he's sitting in the prison in Egypt. Now, mama, he a Hebrew boy. He all the way in Egypt. He all the way. But what I tell y'all, that betrayal had to happen. The betrayal in your life had to happen. So now here he is. He's in the dungeon. He's in prison. He's in jail. And while he's down there, there's a baker and there's a butler down in the jail. Both of them had 2 dreams. He interpreted both of their dreams. And the dreams were accurate to the T, 3 days within the interpretation of the dream. One of the baker was restored back to his position, and the butler got his head cut off, like Joseph told him in the dream. So fast forward, Joseph told the baker, I interpreted the dream for you. Don't forget about me down here. I'm down here in this prison for no cause. I ain't done nothing. But I'm locked up. He was told him, he said, don't forget me when you get back to your position. And the baker forgot all about Joseph, left him all about that. He just forgot the fact that this man interpreted his dreams, and it came to pass that this man was special. So fast forward, 2 years pass, and Pharaoh, and you got to think about it, at that time, Egypt was the power of the world. And when you go through the history of humanity, there's always been different points throughout history where certain regions of the world were the powers of the world. And at this time, Egypt was the powers of the world. And it was ran by Pharaoh. Pharaoh had a dream. And the baker said, bow. Here it is, 2 years later, he said, hold on. This dude down there in the jail, in the prison. He interpreted my dreams and they came to pass. Let me go get him. So Pharaoh sent for Joseph, told him his dream. Joseph interpreted the dreams with precision. But this was the key. Joseph made sure he reminded them, which a lot of you pastors, apostles, and bishops, and men, prophets, and men and women of God, y'all got to remember this too. Because when I was walking inside of the building, the church building, heavily, something that I noticed is a lot of men and women that wear the cloth, that proclaim to be this and that. Y'all like to take credit for God's work and for God's spirit and his moving through you. He told Pharaoh, he said, this is none of my doing. This is the God that is within me. And we're not talking about Zeus. We ain't talking about Poseidon. We ain't talking about some guy coming surfing out the sky. We talking about the Spirit. The Spirit of God. The Spirit of God is love. That was what was inside of Joseph. He reminded him that it was God. This God is a small word, and I'm going to continue to remind y'all that even the word God is too small for God. That's why the Hebrews used to use letters to interpret, to explain what we see around us. This right here. That right there. That right there. That right there. That's God. That right there, that's God. The tree, that's God. I'm waiting for some animals or some deers or something to ride through here. That's God right there. The sun, the moon, the star, the spirit of this, the spirit of God, the creator. That's God. So nevertheless, he reminded Pharaoh that this wasn't me, that this was God. And I'm here to tell some of you church folk, don't forget to tell your folk when they fall in love with you, when they idolize you, when they put you on a pedestal and start looking to you, when they should be seeking after God and giving you credit for what God did. Friendly reminder. Remind the people, remind those that come and serve and worship and fellowship with you and join your churches, your gatherings. Remind them that it ain't you, that it's the Spirit of God that moves through you. If it's the Spirit of God that's moving through you, because we know we in them last days, and we know that the false teachers, the false prophet, the false preachers, we know that if I was the devil, the first thing I'm going to do is start a church. I'm just saying. That's just a side note. Back to the story of betrayal, because there's a lot of betrayal happening inside them four walls, too, that nobody want to talk about. But we're here to set the record straight. But nevertheless, Pharaoh saw that the boy had God in him. He saw the gift in him. And so he pulled him up out of the dungeon, and he made him second in command of the greatest country at the time, of the power of the world, which was Egypt, only to him. So when I tell y'all, when I tell you that betrayal had to happen, because in those betrayals, a lot of us got multiple betrayals. In those betrayals, there's some keys that you're going to get. There's some wisdom that's going to come up out of those betrayals. There's some understanding that you're going to get. You're going to know who's for you, and you're going to know who's against you in a lot of those betrayals. But I can tell you the number one thing that you're going to find in a lot of betrayals is yourself. Who you are, because we're born in sin and shaped in iniquity in this world. Time we come out of our mama's womb, we're born and stepping right into some mess. And a lot of times we have to unlearn, relearn the spirit and the things of God and find the right way and the right truth. And so we have to shake off a lot of those things as we come into this world. But along the way, in that journey, in those pit experiences and those betrayals, you're going to find who you really are, your true calling, what you were created for in those betrayals. It's going to hurt. It's going to have you to dig deep down into the bowels of your soul. But down in the bowels of your soul, there's a key. Jesus said that he was in the center of hell, in the belly of the beast. And he came out with all power, and with the keys. Keys unlock doors. They unlock things. They unlock you. Those are the things that introduce you to the you that you were born and created to be, because a lot of us put on images. We put on masks. We put on facades. We put on the things that our ego in this world tells us to wear. Who is the false you? But something about betrayal that sticks deep down in one's bowels, that hits the soul of a man, that makes him transform. And for some reason, greatness is often found in betrayal. But sometimes some people die because of betrayal. Some people die. They might not physically die, but they die spiritually, because they never overcome the betrayal. There's something about betrayal that's twofold. You got the betrayer, and you got the one that's betrayed. Something about the one that does the betrayal, they often go in the opposite direction of the one that was betrayed. For some reason, calamity and strife and affliction and infliction, despair, hurt, and pain of falling down, hurt, often encompasses the one that did the betrayal. They don't get away with it at all. They gonna go through some things in life for stabbing one that had trust in you, trust in who you are, that shared their vulnerabilities with you, shared their darkest secrets with you, shared their hurts, their pains, their life, there's all the things that they don't want nobody, they shared them with you, and you turned around and used it against them. Oh, when you turn around and you better believe that there is a harvest that's gonna come for you for betraying your people's trust. Those that bear their soul to you. But on the flip side, someone like Joseph that was stabbed in the back, that was betrayed over and over again, he ended up becoming greatness. It unlocked the greatness in him. He found out who he was. And those same people, the brothers that tried to kill him and sold him off a long time ago. There was a famine. That dream that he interpreted from Pharaoh was 7 years of plentiful, which is what we in now, and 7 years of famine. I had that same dream. God revealed that to me 7 years ago. Somewhere around there. I knew what we in right now was coming. But I was unsure of some things. But I definitely got that download some years back. But nevertheless, them same people that betrayed him, his brothers, the famine over in Israel, where they were from, they had to come all the way to Egypt because Joseph interpreted the dream to precision. They were able to prepare. Whoever you standing by right now, looking at this video, look at them, say preparation. Sometimes betrayal is a form of preparation. It's a preparation for something that's to come. So, the same people, because of the dream and interpretation, because Joseph was rose up and to be governor over Egypt behind Pharaoh, them same people was coming from all across the land, and those that betrayed him had to come to him. They ain't seen this boy. They thought he was dead. They ain't seen him in forever. But because of who he was in God and to God, they had to come to him for food to be able to survive and live. If it had not been for Joseph, there wouldn't be no Jesus. He saved the whole lineage. He saved the whole bloodline with his humility, his integrity, his character, and the gift that God put in him. And his humility. His whole bloodline was saved, and we got David that came from it, and a lot of great other men of God that came from this lineage. And the world. And the world too. The betrayer, somewhere down the road, at some point in time, y'all gonna cross paths again. And there's gonna have to be an understanding. There's gonna have to be a conversation. Something's gonna have to be said. There's gonna have to be some apologies. And I'm here to say it. I'm here to tell y'all, even though that betrayed you, you wanna hurt them, you wanna kill them, you wanna do so many things because that hurt, that pain was so bad. Let me tell you, ain't nothing more like forgiveness. Forgive them for they know not what they do. They didn't know who they was betraying. They didn't know that you were special to God, that you were special to somebody when they betrayed you. They didn't know that. You just still gonna have to forgive them. Forgiveness is a powerful, and it's not for them. Forgiveness is for you. It's for you to empty out your heart of that betrayal. Because that betrayal, the people that don't come up out of betrayal, that's because their heart gets stopped up. And then most stuff compound on top of the betrayal. You're talking about other hurts and other pains, other disappointments that could end up stopping up the heart. And there's never a flow that's able to happen in that person's life. And they never come back from it. And they die with betrayal and all kind of stuck and muck all in their hearts. That betrayal had to happen. It had to happen. I've never seen nobody transform from the good times of life. I always see transformation in the hell that we put ourselves in, the hells that we go through. Those pit experiences when I see transformation of people's lives. That betrayal had to happen. But for some reason, betrayal gets to the innards of a man and a woman. It gets to the soul of a man and a woman that causes them to reflect, that causes them to go within, that causes them to look up, to find restoration and healing from somewhere. From somewhere. For some reason, in those pit experiences, in those betrayals, there's some keys that's in there. There's some wisdom that you're going to gain in those situations. There's some understanding that you're going to get in those some situations. There's some armor. You're going to get your breastplate in that betrayal. You're going to get your sword in that betrayal. You're going to get your footwear readiness in that betrayal. Your helmet of salvation is in that betrayal. That's why that betrayals unlock you into the greatness that God has in for you. So when you get to this destination that you're headed, when you get there, you're ready. Before the betrayal, you wasn't ready. Before the betrayal, you wasn't ready. You wasn't ready before the betrayal. But you're ready now. You ready to go to war. You ready to go to war in the spirit, and you ready to go to war right here in this realm right here, this physical realm. You ready? Because that betrayal made you go deep within. It gonna hurt, just don't stay there. Just don't stay there. That betrayal had to happen just to unlock and unleash the giant and the greatness that's on the inside of you. I love y'all. I love y'all. I love y'all. I love y'all. Till next time, it's your boy Hard and Subtle, a.k.a. Man of Thunder.